Take 3 Wrestling Podcast. It's a March Madness extravaganza. I would have said the Revolution was televised, but, well, it probably would have gotten us kicked off the air.
Possibly.
We will talk what happened this past weekend on the AEW Revolution card, where we stand with that, how much I hate Ronda Rousey, spoiler alert. We'll also talk some other things that have happened this past week across the Wrestleverse because we were not here last week to do a formal preview of the show. I will say this. I somehow would have gotten 85% of that show wrong.
The Revolution?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was decisions that were made.
I definitely would have taken the Young Bucks, as our picks on the Fantasy Wrestling League will have tested that. Definitely would have thought that there was no way that they were going to have another face lose a stipulation match to let them never challenge for the world title again.
No! Yeah, that's a thing that happened.
Dumbass!
I also, as we're getting ready to start this show, I actually have to say thank you to Tony Khan.
Really?
Yeah. And it's going to be weird, and it doesn't feel right. But thank you, Tony Khan. Thank you for letting generic Jack Perry win the AEW national title from Ricochet, who then was trolled by a fan on the internet and then decided to show how big of a dick he truly is. Thank you, Tony. Your decision-making has proven to all of us how terrible of a person Rick O'Shea really is. He's still a dick.
Yes.
You guys thought I was just fucking imagining shit and was guy proves it every day on the internet.
Thing sucks.
Yep.
So without Tony Khan making that exquisite decision, one of the best decisions he's ever made in All Elite Wrestling, we would have never have known, and I would have just thought, oh, Mike's just crazy. Now it's Mike is crazy, but he's also right about Ricochet.
Right, and he's crazy, but he ain't wrong, at least about Ricochet.
Correct. I guess while we wait for Joe, because obviously I know he'll have thoughts on the show, and my topic is more driven on a certain thing.
Yeah, we're more like think because my topic is
things
more on a thing. So yeah.
Let's talk, I guess, a little bit about Revolution while we wait for Joe to get here, because I did go back and watch most of the show. I did skip some things. But aside from the questionable decision of the Adam Hangman Page decision, I have 2 questions about that match itself.
Okay.
One, why was it different than any other Texas death match that they've done where they have to answer a 10 count?
No, they did the 10 count on that.
No, I'm saying I never remember that on any of the other Texas death matches. I just remember there being
right. Yeah, I don't know.
Because obviously the 10 count obviously led into the decision and how the finish of the match happened. Because all of us were like, huh? Why is he counting?
Yeah, because they're doing the counting gimmick the whole match. So I don't know if it's because it was the last chance one. If they added the 10 count stipulation,
I don't know. That was question number 1. And question number 2 was, when did GCW take over All Elite Wrestling?
Oh God, dude, the goddamn syringes,
skewers.
Like, I mean, the skewers are uncomfortable, but
the syringe was overboard.
I can deal with the
I
skewers.
can squirm with the skewers and be like,
the syringe is too far, man. I can't fuck with that. That's
I thought we left things like needles and all that kind of stuff back in 2009 with like Thumbtack Jack and CZW. Like isn't XPW out of business? Like, didn't we leave all
they brought
this
that
behind?
Back. They brought that back.
It died again. No,
I don't think so. I think they're just doing shows like once in a blue moon.
There's no way Messiah's out there with his one thumb running like monthly shows.
Sure there is. He only has one thumb. It's less he's got to pay. So like I guess those were the two big takeaways from the main event, where it's like I don't understand the 10 count, and then the a guy who ran Extreme Championship Wrestling even turned over and was like, huh? Halfway through that
Right.
match.
It's like, what am I watching?
But the main event itself was a good match, but with as many good matches that were on that show, it was never going to be the best match on that show.
Right.
That's no discredit to Adam Hangman Page or MJF. But that's kind of a rough show to close.
Yeah.
A shit ton of returns. Somehow, a damn Copaland and Christian are going to have a cage match at Dynasty with FTR for the tag titles.
Wait, why is it a cage match?
Because that was the stipulation that they picked.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I just popped up on my Twitter last night. I didn't even get to watch AEW last night. I was too busy playing MLB The Show, and I just saw Cope and Christian versus FTR in a cage match at Dynasty, and I'm like, okay.
See, this is one thing I got to say that like I miss about wrestling from the 80s and the early 90s, where when you had a gimmick match, there was usually a storyline purpose to it, like back in WrestleMania 7, for example. We're in WrestleMania season, so let's WrestleMania 7, the blindfold match with Jake Roberts and Rick Martel. That shit was built for like 6 months. You had Jake Roberts getting sprayed in the eyes. You had him being blind, disappearing, like as blind people are apt to do. It was a whole thing where you just built this match, and I feel like today someone would just come out and be like, "Yo, so blindfold match." And the other person would be like, yeah. And then we would have that match. And it's just not the same thing anymore.
Are you sure it's in a cage? Like I pulled up the card on, now granted Wikipedia could be wrong, but also I pulled up an article on like 411 Mania, and it shows like the match was announced, Cope and Cage versus FTR, but it doesn't say it's in a cage. I think it might just be a regular
Maybe they deleted the tweet. I'm looking right now to see if it's still on the Twitter.
yeah, I just see FTR defending the tag titles against Cage and Cope.
Let me see if I can find it.
Cage needs his name first, I suppose. But fucking a damn Copaland is chicken and riced up. Brother found the weights since he was the last in AEW.
It's all of the planks he does. I've seen these commercials.
He's a plankman.
Wait, no, I'm seeing. Wait. Do you guys not see these ads in like your Instagram feed?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh man, I will send you one. I've been getting these ads for like 2 years now.
I wonder why.
Edge and Christian founded some like plank board thing that you use to do planks with. And according to these ads, it's pretty much all they do to keep in shape now.
Huh. I'll be darned.
Maybe I was wrong, because there is a tweet, but it does not say cage match.
Gotcha.
Maybe I saw Cage's name first, and I thought it was.
Maybe.
Damn, I gotta find their product now. I will find it for you guys.
I was gonna say, yeah, I get certain ads on my Instagram, but I think they're different than the ones you get, Joe.
Yeah, 100%.
Apparently so.
Will Ospreay's back. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that he's probably gonna have the title match at all in Wembley. I feel like that's a safe assumption.
It feels like we're heading that way.
Because, I mean, obviously, you don't have face Adam Hangman Page anymore to challenge for a title.
Right.
I don't know who else is there. It feels like Darby All In's going to get a match at Dynasty. Osprey wins the Owen Hart Cup and then wrestles for the title at All In, probably.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
That probably makes the most sense.
Yeah.
You know what? That's probably going to be my move on. I'm going to give Tim to the end of the show if he doesn't pick up Will Ospreay since he's on the clock. I'm going to pick up Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
Grape ocean juice. Dying. All right. We've rambled on enough about Revolution. Anything major you guys want to talk about coming out of the show?
I mean, my big thing is well, two things. Number one, criticism where criticism's due. The technical experience for AEW Revolution was awful. So, full disclosure, a very great friend of mine, I will keep their name anonymous as to not get hounded by the tech overlords, but purchased the event through HBO Max and was kind enough to share a login for said show. Went to watch the buy-in.
I bet he's a handsome son of a bitch.
So good looking. Gets very cold though. Very cold.
Can nap anywhere.
Can nap anywhere. Went to watch the 0 Hour, which first off, if you're going to do a broadcast feed, figure out a way to just do it all on one, that I don't have to switch from the 0 Hour to the main one when you have a fucking pre-show match bleed over into the main card.
Not great, Bob.
But what's really not great, Bob, is the fact that for almost 50 minutes of an hour-long pre-show, you couldn't even watch it through the HBO Max app, you know, your home broadcast network's app, because of, quote, technical difficulties. And I get things happen, but holy hell. So couldn't watch the buy-in. And then when the show starts, there's only one single stream available to watch. So you're going to charge a $50 pay-per-view in the year of our Lord 2026 and only allow one person, one screen to be able to watch it. Okay, fine. You know, I willingly just pieced out because the great, wonderful, good-looking friend of mine was rightfully going to watch the show that he purchased. So I went and purchased the show on Amazon Prime Video, as I am not an HBO subscriber myself. So go over there, buy that, which apparently you have to do through a computer. You can't even purchase a Prime Video pay-per-view through a phone app because what year is it? And then the show starts playing automatically on my computer screen. And apparently, when you close your browser, it doesn't tell Prime Video that you're not watching the show anymore. So when you go to watch it on your TV through an app, the Prime Video app, it tells you, no, you are already viewing at your maximum one screens. So I missed most of what was the best match of the night because I had to dick around with multiple levels of technical bullshit. Figure it out, Tony. That said, show bookended extremely well. We'll talk about things regarding the main event. Spoiler alert, the match is on my matches of the year list. But the other match that is on my match of the year list, and I can't believe that I put a Young Bucks match on my match of the year list, but FTR versus the Young Bucks was a fantastic tag match and a tremendous way to start a pay-per-view. There was some good stuff on the show otherwise. There was also a lot of filler stuff otherwise on the show. You're gonna get that when you have a 14 match card. But yeah,
Boom, boom,
good God.
boom.
Yeah, I should be thanking Tony Khan and HBO Max for keeping me from having to see that. The goddamn Riddler or whatever the fuck his name is got tackled. But yeah, the show itself, I was sports entertained. But the opener and the closer, fucking nailed it.
I do have a third match from the show that is on my short list of match of the year candidates.
Okay.
It is the international title match between Jon Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah, that was really good as well.
So here's my fun thing. I just give me 2 seconds. I just got to run out of the office for a second. But
Yeah.
so as you guys know, I've been keeping a list of all my wrestling matches that I watched this year, all the new stuff. Number one, prior to Revolution, I was at 19 matches. At the end of Revolution, I was at 29. So that tells you how many matches were on the show. I as the matches are happening and I watch them and I put them on a list, I just put a star next to every match that I feel like will be worth going back at the end of the year and looking at as a potential match of the year, like a top 10 or whatever. So I'm kind of just like anything that to me is above like 4 stars or more, I'll put in a little star next to. I'm not kidding when I tell you I have here one, two, three, four, I have 6 matches that I put a little star next to on this show.
I want to see if I can.
'Cause-
I want to see if I can guess them all.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Main event:
Main event is one. Yep.
Moxley Takeshita,
That's one. Absolutely.
FTR versus the Young Bucks.
Yep.
All right, so that's 3. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go simply because they both took their pants off. Andrade versus Bandito.
It's not the only reason, but yes, they're on there.
All right, so that's 4. Um, let me see. Did he put?
I think I got the other two.
Is one of them a women's match?
It is.
There is one women's match. Yes.
Okay, so he put the Tekla versus Chris Statlander 2 out of 3 falls.
That was a hell of a match. Yes. Yes.
A
Absolutely.
lot of fun.
Even though he doesn't know what a Tekla is.
I also don't know what it is.
I think it's
I know
some
that-
kind of spider.
I know that she's in a relationship with one of the members of the Dogs.
Okay.
It's giving if Shakira and a spider had a baby.
So arachnophobia.
Yes, there we go.
I'm a little scared.
I'm gonna say, and I could be completely wrong here. It's the Swerve Brody King match.
You got it right.
That was my other guess as well.
Okay.
Yep. I had the same 6.
All right, because those
Like-
6 matches felt like the 6 matches that probably should have been this show,
Those were the paper.
Right.
and the other 13 matches that were on the show were just like, we don't do video packages, so we're gonna give you downtime
There's
by
more
putting
matches.
a useless Orange Cassidy 6-man tag match in here.
Right. That was
Yeah.
let's put David Finlay on the card and then let's feature Gabe Kidd for 12 minutes.
Let's have a guy who just signed a big free agent acquisition lose his first pay-per-view match.
Yep, that made sense. And not
But
even
I
really
will-
feature him either.
I will say though, I gotta be honest, because I could say this specifically by my list of matches I've watched this year. This is the first AEW show I've watched in 2026. I've not paid any attention pretty much to anything that AEW is doing. And I will say, it's interesting. I don't feel like this will make me watch Dynamite or Collision. Like this isn't driving me. There was a show on last night. I watched Survivor instead. And I might go back and watch some of Dynamite, but I'm not guaranteeing that. But this was a good enough show where I feel like I'll order the next pay-per-view. or at the very least, I'll order the one in May. I'll order Double or Nothing for sure. Like they delivered on the big matches of this card. And like that's what they like AEW is giving me enough confidence where if the card looks really good and it's on pay-per-view, I'm probably willing to shell out the money to check it out. But if it's just a random dynamite, unless there's some match on there that sounds particularly interesting, I don't know that I'm going out of my way to watch it.
So what you're telling me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here,
Sure.
because we've talked about this before on this show. You're willing to buy East Coast Pro Wrestling Gorilla as long as the matches sound good, no matter what's going on in the story.
Kinda, yeah. At this point, I mean,
Okay,
don't get me wrong.
because that's
Storyline still helps.
sure, but coming out of Revolution last weekend, the storylines are kind of done right now. I mean, with the exception of you're getting the Cope and Christian FTR thing, you're gonna inevitably get Darby probably versus MJF.
Well, let me even put it like this, and I think I said this to you sort of jokingly last week if we were going to end up doing a show, but
Mm-hmm.
like not completely jokingly. I hadn't watched any AEW this year. I looked at the card for Revolution. I was like, "Oh, this is a killer card." Part of me last week was going to say, "Hey, Mike, tell me why I should care about any of these matches." Because I'm going in blind. Other than the fact that I know that the Young Bucks and FTR feud once every 12 months, give or take, I knew nothing about any of this. Like, I still can't tell you why Bandito and Andrade had a match, but I could tell you it was a great match.
Oh, I was
You
gonna say
know?
if you would have told me sell you on it, I would have sold you Hangman Page versus MJF.
Right.
I would have sold you Takeshita versus Moxley because of the no time limit stipulation. I probably could have sold you Statlander versus Tekla and the FTR Young Bucks match. And the rest of it, I would look up and be like, Brody King is mad at Swerve Strickland because Swerve Strickland's a bad guy again. I
You know what
couldn't.
bothers me about Moxley versus Akeshita and that stipulation though? And I'm mad at it because the card was too full. And the card was too full with filler. Because a 23-minute Moxley Takeshita match I've seen on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Like that match should have probably gone like 41.
Yeah, but then you would have had to have sliced.
Right. But you
something.
couldn't do that because as it was, the show went till midnight 30.
Yeah. Can we address that real quick? Like,
go back to
Yes.
Saturday nights, bud.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're gonna do this, go back to Saturdays because
Like WWE's doing 2 hours and 30 minutes on a Saturday night. Let's flip flop the nights again, please.
we're doing 2 hours and 30 minutes on a Saturday night, and people are like, "Man, I'm ready for bed."
Yeah.
Sunday, have to go to work the next day. I was at work, and you guys were texting me, "Oh, it's 11:45. Looks like the main event's about to go on." I'm like, "Homeboy said what?"
Yeah. It was, and here's the thing, like, say what you will about matches on a pre-show, like you can't say, well, it was just a 4.5 hour pay-per-view. The fuck it was. When you fill a 0 hour with 3 matches that take up the whole show, it is a 5.5 hour pay-per-view then. Like,
and then the idiots that stay up and watch the fucking post show that are up for another hour to listen to Tony Khan talk about interviews. You're not getting in bed until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
on a Sunday.
Right. Like it's like cut some of these down so that because again, 23 minutes, like when that match ended, I was like, that felt short. Like I expected the match to go super long.
Especially when they said no time limit. Like you're
Right.
expecting 35, 40 minutes at that point.
Right. If you're gonna cap it, if you're gonna end that match at 23, give us a 30-minute time limit.
Yeah. Add time to the time limit.
It just feels like there's got to be a middle ground between WWE giving us 4 to 5 matches on a pay-per-view and AEW giving us 13. Like there's got to be a happy 7-match card that exists somewhere that is just a good show. You know?
Here you go. Let's have some fun. I have the card up. I'm going to read off the times in order. Okay. The national title match went 22 minutes and 55 seconds.
Okay.
FTR versus the Bucks, 1941. Tony Storm, Marina Shafir, 9:45. And then 17 and a half minutes of Ronda Rousey, which makes you want to throw up in a bucket. 23 minutes and 32 seconds, John Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. Divine domination of Lena Cross and Megan Bayne over the Babe of Wrath, 5 minutes. I get it. It's the shoulder injury. It's the easiest way to get the titles on Megan Bayne and Lena Cross, but yeah. Swerve versus Brody, 14-19. That'd have been a great Dynamite main event.
Yeah.
Triple threat.
By the way,
2 out of
big time Lena Cross fan.
big time.
Big time.
2 out of 3 falls, 1709. Trios title, 1721. Andrade versus Bandito. Fantastic match. Would have been arguably the best Dynamite main event of the year. 20 minutes and 55 seconds. It got more time than your AEW Women's World Title match and your Trios tag title match. Oh, and your tag title match. The Tornado 6-man tag, which could have been a fun match on Dynamite. 12 minutes and 23 seconds. And then MJF versus Adam Page, 46-18, the total time.
Yeah.
If you go through and you pick the 6 matches that Joe had on his match of the year candidate, and you add just because to put Divine Domination's title run or title win on that show, you're at 19 and 23 is 42, 47, 50, 62, 79, 99, 99 and 45 is 136 minutes of match time, plus all the extra seconds. Let's just round it up to a solid 200 minutes of match time.
Right.
That's 3.5 hours.
Yeah. You want a good 6 or 7 match card? TNA Sacrifice next weekend.
I'm in.
That currently has 6 matches.
What's the card? What's it look like?
What are they?
Elijah and the Hometown Man versus Frankie Kazarian and AJ Francis. Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steeles versus Trey Miguel and Jada Stone. Moose versus Eddie Edwards. Ariana Grace versus Lei Ying Lee and Danny Luna for the Knockouts World title. Leon Slater versus Eric Young for the X Division title. Mike Santana versus Steve Macklin for the TNA World title.
Sign me up.
That sounds like a great pay-per-view.
Sign me up.
That sounds wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you it's 2.5, maybe 3 hours.
And it's on a Friday night. It's not even a work night. It's not a school night.
Butter pecan bang.
Love that.
All right. So I guess because we're on the talk of Revolution, I guess let's get the one I really don't want to talk about out of the way.
Yes, let's do it.
Why?
Mm.
And I want to preface this with I've not liked Ronda Rousey probably ever.
Correct. I don't know that I've ever heard you say a good thing about her.
I will say her WrestleMania debut in the match with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H with Kurt Angle, that was a fun match. Yes. Good match, great introduction. That was probably the only time that I gave a shit about her character.
Fair.
She was also really good when Liv Morgan cashed in Money in the Bank on her. Cool. But if there isn't a more self-centered individual when it comes to certain things inside the professional wrestling business, including their shit talking of professional wrestling fans, I'd like to introduce you to last name Rousey, first name Ronda.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you guys dabble on your Ronda Rousey takes before I really blow the top off this joint.
Joe, you want to give your thoughts on it?
I honestly don't even have any thoughts. Like, I, okay, the biggest thought that I have for it is it's an unfortunate sign of the fact that there just haven't been enough female wrestlers built up in the last 20 years, let's say. And that's, let's be real, female wrestling here in America didn't really start to be taken seriously until about 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago at this point we can look at. Like maybe you can argue back to like 2010, 11 starting in Ring of Honor, but in WWE female wrestling doesn't start to get taken seriously until what, 2015? 2014 maybe. I forget when the first little women's revolution really happened, but it was like 2014ish. So we're talking about like 10 years. Unfortunately, because of the nature of wrestling in that 10 years, all of the women's stars that have been built up have either retired, are still in their respective places that they already were when they became stars, or that's kind of it, So if you're a company and you're out here trying to get a big female debut, trying to, cause a scene, and obviously, like AEW likes their debuts, they like their returns. We saw like 8 of them on this show alone. You can do that with the men really easily because with men there's always another star, there's always another guy that hasn't wrestled in 3 years, or is a former world champion, or this, that, or the other. There's no shortage of men if you want to break somebody out to pop a crowd. When it comes to women, there's an extreme shortage. I
Right.
dare say, I don't know that I can name another woman that AEW could have dusted off and debuted that's actually both available and not retired and would actually make a crowd excited. So the sad part about all this is, and I know you're going to say Britt Baker's sitting right there, but the sad part about this is if AEW wanted to make a splash and have a big woman debut, Ronda Rousey is kind of the only choice they even have in the market. Like, who else is there? Who isn't blood oath signed to WWE or already in AEW that would actually make a difference?
You mean besides the better member of the Four Horsewomen that's a professional wrestler?
Who?
Shayna Baszler?
Oh, I mean, yeah, but let's be real.
Dakota
How much
Kai?
did the Right, but how much did the crowd care about any of those people? Like, none of those are the level of star that I'm talking about. You know what I
I'm
mean? Like,
and all of them are better wrestlers than the person that you're talking about.
I 100% agree, but better wrestler isn't what pops a crowd, not in a debut like that. Like, if you're looking to get a big name, you're looking to get people to just pay attention. The unfortunate truth is Ronda Rousey does that.
It also is unfortunate that she has a mixed martial arts fight May 16th against Gina Carano. So she makes a debut, calls out Tony Storm, and we're not going to see her again until June.
And also, it sounds like Tony Storm's going to be out for a while with numerous injuries. Which, here's the thing, that could also be we're not going to have a Ronda match. Let's
Till June.
send Tony home and heal up from just it could be from regular wear and tear as well.
Right. No, I'm just saying, like, because look, I don't like Ronda Rousey. I'm not a fan of her. She sucks in the ring. She kind of has garbage takes in general.
I'm
So,
gonna
like,
say
I'm
she's
not
always out of the ring.
right. I'm not sitting here trying to be like, oh, it's great that they signed her. I can't wait to see what they do with her. I honestly couldn't care less. But I'm just saying from the perspective, like just playing devil's advocate, if you're Tony Khan, if you're out here and you're like, man, I want to bring in a woman who's gonna, get some headlines, and it's not Dakota Kai. You know, like that's not getting ESPN to pay attention. Like it's unfortunately it's Ronda Rousey or it's
I don't
almost
think
nobody.
I don't think ESPN is paying attention to any of it.
I don't know. I don't know if they reported who reported Ronda Rousey showing up.
Maybe
I
Sports
feel like
Illustrated, because
somebody did.
I don't feel like ESPN, who is paying $1 billion for the other company, would be giving AEW any kind of run on any of their major
Yeah,
platforms.
like I don't know. We could look and see if they put out an article, but I have no idea. But somebody put out an article somewhere about Ronda Rousey showing up in AEW.
Sure, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying if you need to make that big of a splash in the women's division, your women's division has been known for good to great in-ring wrestling. It has not been known for terrible takes from a bad person who's going to sit here and get an opportunity to act on the fucking biggest stage of AEW, probably have a match at All In, and probably kick someone who's busted their ass for the last 365 days off of that show.
I mean, here's the reality, and I'll let you continue to have your stage. Everybody who, when AEW first started, and it was a place that's different from WWE, and it doesn't have to be sports entertainment, it doesn't have to be the same old wrestling, and blah 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 blah. This, if not other instances before, should be the wake up call to the people that don't realize that, regardless of his feelings and how he is as a person outside of the business of professional wrestling and AEW, Tony Khan is a businessman, because Ronda Rousey is smart business for AEW. It's money, it's clicks, it's attention. On 3CT tonight, we looked up by well on close to 200,000 more views. Her debut video on the AEW YouTube channel is the most watched thing from Revolution. The short video of that is also the most watched thing from Revolution. He's a businessman. You don't become a billionaire by not understanding what's good business. So here's the thing, folks. Trey Miguel got fired because he said a dumb thing, apologized for it immediately, one thing, and he gets fired. Ronda Rousey has said numerous terrible things, both about the sport that AEW said the best people in the sport come to. She said she has badmouthed that sport. She has also said terrible things about marginalized people. She has also said terrible and pushed terrible theories about one of the most tragic school shootings in this country's history. And I understand that she is not signed to AEW. We have not yet seen Ronda Rousey as All Elite, but Tony Khan's fine doing business with her. Right? Tony Khan didn't make one of his own superstars apologize for a horrible thing that he said and doubled down on this week. Like that situation, per wrestling journalists, has not been addressed internally by Tony Khan. He's a businessman, folks. The wrestling business is dirty. The wrestling business is gross. Tony Khan is a wrestling businessman. He is going to do what makes money. So when Ronda Rousey wrestles in AEW, I will watch it, because it's probably going to be at one of the biggest shows of the year, which I usually end up watching. But everybody who has badmouthed the other side for sleazy business, You can't justify this. You either have to admit that both companies are dirty. One you can claim is dirtier than the other, but they're both dirty, and just accept the fact that wrestling's dirty, or chastise both, because there's been a lot of middle grounding this week. I've always said, like, bring Brock Lesnar back, controversial, smart business. Look at what they're doing at WrestleMania, smart business. That's going to make money. You know, Ronda Rousey's going to bring money to AEW. You know, I don't really care about Ronda Rousey. I think her first run in WWE was impressive. The second one was terrible. I can't imagine 3 years later and post probably getting her head kicked in by Gina Carano is going to be any better. But
Post second child.
right, like I'm gonna watch it, but I don't have high hopes. Especially when you're in a division that, depending who you put her with, I mean, with Toni Storm, she'll be fine. But if she wrestles anybody else, you're going to find out the competition is less than it was over on the other side as well. But Mike.
Yeah, I guess you did mention some of my bullet points, and the one that will always sit wrong with me in this regard is, and I know you said it the best way that you can, it's a business decision, and he's making a business decision to help line his pockets. And I get it. Ronda Rousey will sell T-shirts. She'll help sell tickets if a show isn't doing well. But that would mean that AEW fans would have to acknowledge that sometimes tickets don't sell well on AEW shows. They don't acknowledge that either.
No, they
That's a
don't.
problem. But the other issue that I have here, and I think this one probably hurts a little bit more than I was thinking that it would. It took her 13 years to apologize for a conspiracy theory video that she was on about Sandy Hook.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that guy Jay Briscoe that was never allowed to wrestle in AEW because of comments that he made that he went on to apologize about multiple times on multiple different news sources? Talked about how young he was when he made stupid comments, and how much he had grown from it. And we never got to see arguably the greatest tag team in indie wrestling history wrestle in a super indie.
Yeah. But they have no problem trotting out Mark now as hey, remember the Briscoes? Like, we're doing right by Jay because we're featuring Mark. Okay.
Yeah, but you're not. I
Right.
love Mark to death, and I
Yeah.
want all the success in the world for Mark. I'm happy that he's getting TV time, but you're not doing right by Jay. You're definitely not doing right by Jay because you fired Trey Miguel right after you signed him. Now you're letting someone who has done and said the damn things that this lady has done and said, not only about, like you said, about the business, but about things outside of the business.
Yeah.
Warner Brother Discovery had no problem being like, ain't happening when it came to Jay Briscoe and Trey Miguel. But now they're like, well, this might add a couple zeros to our investment. Maybe we should consider it. So my takeaway at this is the same that Jim said. The other side of the fence needs to put some hand up accountability. Because for the longest time, all I've heard is, I'm never watching WWE. That scumbag Vince McMahon did all this wrong shit. Are we forgetting that Tony Khan paid Kylie Ray a cease and an NDA about not talking about the things that happened to her whenever she decided to quit? Or do we just forget about that because, she went on to WWE, won the ID title, and then, got pregnant, so she had to stop wrestling while she was pregnant. But because Chris Jericho was involved, we just, get someone to sign an NDA. Wow, that sounds like Brock Lesnar. And we were told for how long that if WWE brought back that scumbag Brock Lesnar, that'd be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time he's been in the wrestling business, you guys just wanted to, and I'm not saying you two, I'm saying the other side of
Right.
the fence, have been wearing these rose-colored glasses that Tony can do no wrong. Tony's done wrong since day one. But it's not the wrong that's getting a court case filed against him and dumb shit like that. That, you know what? Vince McMahon was a fucking idiot. We've said it on this show 3,735 times. We ain't tried to hide from it. But we've also had the balls to say Vince McMahon's a moron. WWE fans have looked up and said, yeah, that one's fucked up. That's on us. But not one time has an AEW fan looked up, taken a step back, and be like, Tony, this just ain't the one that I can get behind you with. If there's one time as an AEW super fan and an anti-WWE fan, that I need someone to just look up and be like, Tony, this may not be the one. I can at least look up and be like, the fans acknowledge the fact of he may not be as scummy of a human being as Vince McMahon, but he's decided to play the chess game that is professional wrestling. That's my problem. Because Ronda Rousey's going to show up like she did, then she's not going to show up because she is probably going to wrestle Toni Storm at All In. Tony's going to take some time off to get healthy finally because she's gone 1,000 miles an hour for the last 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when that time comes, are they going to have a good match? Yeah, probably. You want to know why? Because Toni Storm's a professional wrestler. And she's the best women's professional wrestler in the business right now. And I have no problem saying that. It's easy to make Ronda Rousey look good when you're the best in the world. Will the match be serviceable? Yeah. Will it be better than anything Ronda Rousey did her second time in WWE? Probably. How much of it is because of Ronda Rousey? Probably 2%. I'll watch it. I don't love it. I hate the fact that there are other guys that never got their chance because of Warner Brothers putting their foot down. Ricochet's probably going to lose his job once Warner Brothers decides to put their foot down over stupid comments. I hate to compare the two, but if I had to pick one that was worse, I think Ronda Rousey's comments are worse.
Yeah, the Ricochet stuff was absolutely shitty.
100% in bad taste.
The doubling down was honestly worse.
That probably makes it worse.
Like I can almost see in the guise of I'm a heel, I'm gonna fire one off at somebody. First
Sure.
off, fucking Trevor should know you don't go after somebody's fucking disease. But okay, let's just pretend that he's gonna just fire that one off and be okay. Once everybody alive on the internet calls you out for it, you should know to tap the brakes and be like, nah, dude, I'm out. But yeah, I think Ronda's are worse. I would agree with that.
So I guess my frustration is I'm not the biggest Ronda fan in the world. I will give it its fair chance to be as clean and as good as it can be. But in a world where over the last 700 and 800 days, all I've heard about is how terrible WWE is because Vince McMahon was the owner of it for so long and did the scummy things he did. And that Tony Khan is the land of opportunity. The opportunity was taken away from both Trey Miguel and Jay Briscoe before they ever had an opportunity. And we're going to let somebody else walk in the door because she can draw, allegedly. Because she's the only available women's draw, allegedly.
Right.
You know, sign me up for bringing back Mercedes Moné. I think she's a better draw than Ronda Rousey is. And I get it, she needs to go lose 36 more titles before she can come back. But that's neither here nor there. So, again, I think my frustration is more other people who busted their ass night in and night out that deserved an opportunity to at least have a match, an opportunity to be in AEW, aren't getting that chance. And someone who's talked shit about professional wrestling, it's just like, hey, here you go. We'll probably put you in the co-main event spot too.
Right. Probably.
Just doesn't sit right with me, and that's a me problem, and I know that, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to slam the door on it completely, but I'm 1 foot out the door when it comes to Ronda Rousey and AEW, and we're less than 6 days into it.
Yeah, it stinks. Any other thoughts on that? I have one other thing from Revolution that I think will be a quicker discussion.
I'm good on Ronda Rousey. I've got off my soapbox.
Perfect. So Hangman loses the Texas Death. So he can now no longer, per the stipulation, fight for the AEW world title.
Mhm.
We've seen this show before. It didn't end well for AEW. Where does Hangman go from here? Because I've seen some folks be like, well, he can challenge for any other the 27 titles that are in AEW. And I was like, okay, but tell me how many of the other 27 titles are, by the words of AEW commentary, the biggest prize in the sport. You've now told me that the biggest homegrown babyface in your company's history can no longer compete for the biggest prize in the sport. What? How many?
And
CM Punk lost 3 world title shots since his return to WWE. Could you imagine if on that third one it was, sorry, CM Punk can no longer compete for a world title? What the fuck's the point of Phil being in the WWE then? Like, do I want to see CM Punk Intercontinental Champion in 2026? No, I do not.
Well, it's even if you put it in the most simple sports terminology, and I'm not even a big sports guy, but like if you told me, okay, so baseball's about to start, right?
Yeah.
So if you told me that like 2 weeks into the season that the Yankees were going to play a game that if they lost it, they could not get into the World Series this season.
let's go whoever they're
Guaranteed.
playing.
Sign me up for
But
that.
like guaranteed, or use a different team if you want, whatever team you guys care about. The Red Sox. Let's say the Red Sox, they get told they have a game against the Yankees week 2 of the season. And if they lose that one game, they cannot make it into the World Series. And they
I will
lose.
I will not be on this show then because I will fucking Tanya Harding fucking Aaron Judge before the game
Well,
starts.
right.
No.
Because
Just tell him it's a big game. He'll do it to himself.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But like that's the thing, right? At that
Yeah.
point, why are you watching the Red Sox play baseball for the next 160 games
Right.
or 140 or whatever it is
like,
at that point? There's
hey,
no point.
Buffalo Bills, you lost 4 Super Bowls in the 90s. You can never compete for the Super Bowl ever again.
Right. There's a reason why it's not fun watching the Jets season after like week 3 when
Right.
they've been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs already. Like
There's a
at
reason.
that point, you're just like, okay, why? Why am I doing this?
Like, I am primarily an Orioles fan. See my little Oriole bird back there. But like, I am also a Phillies fan. I've gone to like Reading Phillies minor league games my entire life, all of that. So I've always had a place in my heart for the Phillies. The joke used to be when the Orioles were in their stretch of like 20 straight losing seasons.
Oh, that was rough.
The joke was, I'm an Orioles fan until they're eliminated from the playoffs. So on opening day, I'm a Phillies fan. Because like, where was the fun in watching the Orioles? They're going to win 60 games at most in a 162 game season. Like I don't need to be invested in this team because I know it's not going anywhere. Like when the Cowboys are basically dead in the water, I stop watching. Like Thanksgiving night when the Cowboys beat the Chiefs, I was like, these motherfuckers are going to drag me until the end. And then they went and got curb stomped the next 2 weeks. And I went, you know what, Cowboys? Thank you. Because I don't have to be I don't have to invest my soul in this anymore. So like why again, yes, he can win the Continental TV TBS Monster Energy title. Cool. He's a how many time world champion? He's been your featured player. He was in your first world title main event against Chris Jericho.
Chris
And
Judas.
and now he can only compete for the Okada Invitational title. Get fucked, Tony. This is stupid.
I mean, and the comment from John makes a lot of sense. I agree. It would be, the Continental Championship is the closest. But here's my issue with that. Adam Page basically was killed to lose his opportunity to fight for the AEW World Title. I have two problems with that. One, what the fuck is somebody going to have to do to beat Maxwell Jacob Friedman to win the AEW World Title now? Because he just took the best shot from the best guy who defeated John Moxley not 1 year ago in the same kind of match. So now you're telling me that Maxwell Jacob Friedman's going to have to get hit by a fucking truck to lose the AEW World Title. That's not his character. MJF is not, the sleeper soldier. As for Adam Page, when/if Adam Hangman Page returns, he has to tap in to the side of him that nobody wants. The dark, malicious, the evil Adam Hangman Page. But I don't know that Adam Hangman Page needs the world title. Because that Adam Hangman Page needs somebody else to have the world title. And that person is Swerve Strickland. If Adam Hangman Page comes back as a heel, aligns himself with Swerve, and we have two guys who have gone to war with each other as heels, destroying the entire face division, Kenny Omega, the Death Riders when they turn heel, etc., etc. Then you look at it, and inevitably Adam turns on Swerve. That's when Swerve goes face. Swerve's the champion. And maybe you're right. And maybe there's a word here that we're forgetting. It's challenge. What if Swerve walks into Tony Khan's office and says, I want him. I need him. I need to beat him with this on the line to prove that I'm the guy. To end this part of Adam Hangman Page. And maybe that's the last night Adam Hangman Page is in AEW. Or maybe that's when Adam Hangman Page wins the AEW World Title from Swerve Strickland. And all of a sudden, now heel, gone back on his word, and he has the title belt. Sounds like the Death Riders with one big difference. He won't put the world title in a briefcase. Adam Hangman Page has to do whatever it takes to make whatever he does the most important thing on the show. That's what Adam Hangman Page needs to do. I don't love it. Question here. When in your mind is considered too soon to pull the trigger? Well, here's my, and I'll just try to just quickly chop this up. MJF, I think, holds the title till All In. I think that's when Ospreay wins it. If maybe Double or Nothing next year, because Swerve could win the title at World's End, kind of like the Samoa Joe Invitational. Every time Samoa Joe wins the title, it's always at World's End. Maybe Swerve wins it there. They're have each other's back through that, and then maybe Page himself turns at Dynasty next year, and maybe that leads to them having a match Double or Nothing, and maybe that's when. And I mean, I think a year and a half with no challenge isn't terrible. I mean, I think maybe that's in play for me.
Here's my thing. I don't think it matters when. Because let's be real. Let's be real here. Let's be real. It's all storyline. They were always going to find a way out of it. We always all knew that. If Cody stuck around long enough, they'd have found a way out of it with him also. Like, it's whatever. I've been watching television and movies and soap operas long enough to know that, wake up and it was all a dream. The twin is in the shower, whatever. You can get out of these stupid things.
Fair.
The part that bothers me from the jump, the part that makes it illogical and makes it make no sense, and the part that we already discussed is simply what purpose does Paige have to be around right now? Like, period. Like, if you work for a company and you've lost the ability to become the top guy in that company, you have no reason to show up at work. Like, you just don't. That's my employees come to me at the end of the night and say, "Oh man, I forgot to clock in today." And I look at them and I go, "LOL, I guess you worked for free now, didn't you?" Now, granted, then I clock them in because, I'm not a piece of shit. But it's that basic idea. It's well, why are you going to show up to work if you're not going to be able to do the thing that actually matters, like short of Adam Page right now being like, "Hey, I shouldn't even go here anymore because I can't fight for the world title, so I might as well just leave." Like, short of that, but then how do you bring him back and explain the whole thing? Like that's the issue. The jumping off point makes no logical sense. Like, end of the day, it just makes no logical sense.
Well, I guess I'll say this also. Cody Rhodes went, and I'm trying to get the exact date, because he declared that if he did not win the at Full Gear 2019, that he would no longer fight for the title. That was on November 6th of 2019. His last match in AEW was January 26th of 2022. He went just a little over 2 years. No. Yeah, a little over 2 years and a couple months. I mean, if Adam Hangman Page comes back in 6 months and fights for the world title, I have zero desire to hear any more stories from Tony Khan Presents Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least with a year down the road, you can do the Swerve stuff. You can do some stuff where he's fighting for the Continental title. Maybe he fights in the C2 this year, wins that, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, here's the thing though, and maybe this is Adam Page has been going almost as long as Tony Storm has without a break. What's the one thing that Adam Hangman Page really hasn't had? A changing character. It's always been cowboy shit. Whether it was heel, whether it was face, whether it was tweener, whether it was tag team, didn't matter. Cowboy shit. Jet Set Rodeo, cowboy shit. Tag match with Swerve, cowboy shit. Will Ospreay, cowboy shit. Rising with a cow that's taking a shit at Y'all In last year. It's always been that. Maybe this is Adam taking a break, and he's going to come back, and he's not going to be Adam Hangman Page. Maybe he'll just be Adam Page. Maybe there will be a darker character behind this. Because let's look at what's going to happen over the next year and a half or so. Let's talk about the guys who haven't been in the AEW title picture in some time. Kazuchika Okada, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Jon Moxley, Swerve Strickland, Brody King, MJF, Bandito, when he inevitably drops the Ring of Honor World title, will probably get matches. Andrade, Kenny Omega, who I didn't even mention in the first 9 names. Maybe it's the AEW title doesn't need Adam Hangman Page. And that's okay. But to throw that stipulation the only other time that you've done it, the guy went over 2 years and inevitably left the company before he ever broke the rule. If he fights for the title within 6 months, I don't know that I can take any storyline seriously for the foreseeable future, because what do they mean?
Yeah. And look,
I think that's my problem.
Like ultimately, and I see the comments and they're all valid points. Like this is a story, like wrestling is a thing that like the rules are made up and the points are made. It's whose line is it anyway? Like, let's be fair. One of my favorite like tropes to go back to when people are like, WWE doesn't even care about the stipulations that they put in these matches. They're like, when they're talking about like the Cody Rhodes couldn't get a rematch, but then he ends up beating Drew for the title. And I'm like, first off, numbnuts, Drew made that happen. Like Nick Aldis told him, do not fuck around in these matches, the Royal Rumble and the Elimination Chamber. Like Cody's in those matches, it wouldn't be getting a rematch. He would be earning a chance to fight you. Don't fuck around in these matches and interfere. Drew did it twice and he got punished for it because Cody got screwed out of it, so you lost. So it's not even like they didn't forget about this stipulation. They were just going along with the story. But my primest example of this is WrestleMania 7, the first WrestleMania I ever watched live in my life. The Ultimate Warrior defeated Macho King Randy Savage in a retirement match. 1 year later, WrestleMania 8, the second WrestleMania I ever watched live in my life, from the Hoosier Dome. One of my favorite visual WrestleManias ever, by the way. On that show, Randy Savage won the WWF Championship, and the Ultimate Warrior returned to the World Wrestling Federation. I understand that this sport has carnival barked us from the beginning of time. So ultimately, Hangman losing this match, you can get out of this stipulation. Like, I do understand that. And I do understand that they could have gotten out of it with Cody and they would have found a way as well. I think Joe said that. But like when they did it with Cody, it was perceived as one of the worst booking choices the company has made in its first, at that time, like 4 years. 2 years later, you go back to it for really no reason whatsoever. Like literally all you could have said is like, look, I keep trying to beat Max, but if I can't beat him, like I just won't challenge him as long as he's the champion. And then guess what? Let fucking MJF go on like a 2-year goddamn title reign because the dude's hitting fucking dingers every time he's on a show. Like this is an all-time world title run. MJF is that fucking dude right now. So guess
So
what? Hangman doesn't get to have a shot at the title for 2 fucking years. Cool. Then when Max is out, then you reinvent yourself to how do I get back in this spot?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Riddle me this, if anyone knows the answer. When's the last time WWE ran this as a storyline?
I don't recall them ever doing it.
Not challenged for the title ever again.
Yeah, they've definitely done it. We've definitely had one or two. If I don't beat you for this belt this time, I will never challenge for it again. Or like I won't challenge for it as long as you're the champion. Like it's happened. But I feel like number one, it usually ends in the person and so they can challenge again for it. Or number two, it's just been very long since it happened. But they've definitely done that as a storyline also.
Yeah, they've definitely done the can never challenge as long as blank is champ. I think they've even done that. I want to say probably within the last 3 to 4 years. But I don't personally remember them ever doing the I can never challenge for the title again. Period. I don't and I may be wrong. I can ask Tim over on 3CT. Probably will remember better than I can. But I don't recall them ever doing the ever portion of it.
Right.
Like
I don't.
that's the part
Remember off
that
the
just
top of my head.
Um. Let's see. See if I can figure this out real quick. I'm doing a journalism.
Yeah, I tried doing one.
Yeah,
I couldn't
I'm not too sure.
yeah, I couldn't find any specifically. But again, I mean like WWE has certainly hoodwinked us with storylines and gimmicks and things like that before too. It just man, you didn't have to go to this well. I think that's the part that gets me is you actually and kudos to them because like going into this, I'm like, oh cool, so Hangman's just winning the title again. All right, so the comment here says I think Sammy did it during Roman's reign. Yeah, and I think that was still just as long as Roman's champion, I can't fight for it. And again, I could be wrong, but I don't remember them ever doing the can never fight for it again. That like
It must have been just when Roman was champion because he's fought for the belt again, and I don't recall them ever doing a like getting out of the fact that he couldn't fight for it storyline.
right. Okay, yes.
Yeah, no, it's cheap, it's easy, it's silly, and it paints you into a corner that you don't need to paint yourself into. Like
Oh, I
that's
mean,
like
they
as a story writer, like why back yourself into a corner that you can't then yes end your way out of?
for the record, WWE did it one day before AEW did the Adam Hangman page. For the record, El Hijo del Vikingo can no longer challenge Dominic Mysterio as long as Dominic Mysterio is the AAA Mega Champion.
Okay.
I believe that was the stipulation.
I think you're right. And then that
Ole.
and again that is champion specific. That is also still not a permanent.
Oh no, I don't know that they've ever done. I will never challenge for the entire title ever the fuck again. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Right.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm looking right now. If if Dominic Mysterio lost, he would have to lose AAA, leave AAA. If Vikingo lost, he would be unable to challenge for the title as long as Dom's champion. So that was the stipulation in that one.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm personally excited to see what they can do with Paige from here. Obviously, they can mess it all up, but it's a unique enough situation. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I love Adam Page, so like I'm compelled to see what they do, and how it may change who he is. But man, it
If it
creates
lead
talking point. It creates talking point. So
if
I
it
guess
leads to a character change of some sort, I'm all in.
yeah.
Whether he's just no longer cowboy shit, whether it's a darker heel character, whatever it is, like you said, I'm a big Adam Hangman Page guy. Always have been, always will be. And I'm excited to see what the next step is. But I'm also holding my breath that, don't trust Tony that he ain't gonna fuck this up somehow. That's my concern.
What if they book him against Ronda Rousey?
I hope he fucking buckshot lariats her face off with an armful of barbed wire.
Oh no, I assume she'd win.
That'll officially be the last day I ever watch AEW. There aren't many results at this point that Tony Khan could hit me with that I'd be like, nope, never watching again. One, Ronda Rousey over Adam Hangman Page.
Right.
One. We found the one. I'm even okay with Ronda Rousey beating Tony Storm. Like that doesn't even bother me.
What about MJF? What if she beats MJF?
Is the world title on the line?
No, because she lost the match where she wasn't allowed to challenge for the world title.
That's fine then. If you're telling me the world title was on the line, two. So I never wanted her to be the AEW world champion.
Correct.
Oh, heard.
I want her to be as far away from any title in that company. I would rather Jade Cargill come back and win the That Bitch Strong title again than Ronda Rousey win a title in AEW. Also, anything else on
No, I'm good.
on the hanger?
Nope.
Joe, you have a topic? I don't know if you ever told us.
I just came for the vibes.
I do have something though that I want to mention before we go to Wrestlers of the Week, and then we can get the hell out of here. The Rey Mysterio post. Has anyone seen that?
On the Twitters?
I don't know if it was Twitter or the Instagrams with like just him holding the mask.
I have not.
I don't know if that was one of those like fake like parody like things, but like now there's a bunch of talk of like, is Rey Mysterio not going to be cleared for
WrestleMania?
Yeah, so like does that mean that he was supposed to be Gunther's opponent, but that rib injury that he got, is that going to cost them that match now altogether? Let's see if I can find it real quick while
Yeah, I mean, I saw something about the match with Gunther not being a thing. So this is from Wrestling News CO. Gunther's WrestleMania 42 status currently unclear after a rib injury to Rey Mysterio derailed a planned program between the two is set to culminate at the event. According to the report, Gunther's feud with Dragon Lee on Raw was supposed to set up a match with Mysterio heading into WrestleMania 42. His rib injury, which occurred before the Royal Rumble, forced WWE to change course, and Gunther's direction for the show has not been determined since. It's currently unknown whether he will compete at WrestleMania 42 unless Mysterio is medically cleared in time. Mysterio confirmed in a recent interview he fractured both his left and right ribs on January 26th episode of Raw during a match with Austin the Roy. Damn it, Joe. I swear to God, if your guy fucking costs us a big Gunther match at Mania, I'm not going to be happy about it.
That's fair.
Mysterio did compete in the Royal Rumble match. He's not been seen on TV since. Gunther was last seen on the March 2nd episode of Raw where he defeated Dragon Lee. Of course, been in some high profile feuds, culminating in retiring Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles. Yeah, like it's a weird spot, I feel like, for them to be in, because I know like some people have said, like, how can you not have a plan for Gunther? I'm like, well, first off, you had a plan for Gunther, it got derailed.
Card
Like,
subject to change.
and like personally, and I don't know how you guys feel, but like I would rather not have Gunther on WrestleMania than have him just thrown in a random match with 4 weeks prep time because Rey Mysterio got hurt. Like, okay, so clearly he's not wrestling Brock Lesnar.
Correct.
He's not
He's not wrestling Randy Orton.
He's not wrestling Randy Orton. He's not wrestling Rey Mysterio.
Oh, Rey Mysterio.
Like, who do you want him to wrestle? One of the El Grande Americano guys? Like, what do you?
He wrestles both of them, and if he beats both of them, they both have to unmask.
Okay, I kind of like that, actually. Like, is he gonna retire Akira Tozawa? Like, what the fuck do you really want Gunther to do at WrestleMania?
So
Otis.
do we think that the IC title match is going to be a multi-man match?
Kind of feels that way.
I have a feeling that if it is not the multi-man, like the U.S. title feels more multi-man match than the IC title, but I could see both ending up as multi-man matches.
See, I could see the IC title being a multi-man match, maybe even a ladder match. I could see the US title being defended Friday night on SmackDown. Uh, the Friday before WrestleMania. That's usually how that ends up going. But
I
I,
don't think you're leaving Carmelo Hayes off of this card. I think you have a
always
better
find a
shot
way
of.
to leave Carmelo Hayes off.
I think you have a better shot of every tag title being defended on SmackDown the Friday before than Carmelo Hayes not being on that show, especially as
I
good
mean,
as he's been in ring for the last 6 months.
Either way, I think that the IC title, there's a real chance that we get like a 6-man or an 8-man ladder match for that, right?
Hmm.
Because, you have Penta as the champion, you've got Dom there. In theory, you could put Finn Balor in there, you can get the Americanos in there. There's
Wow,
room for Gunther.
you just killed 3 matches that I had on my WrestleMania card by trying to do a 45-man ladder match.
I mean, they literally just ran Americano versus Americano on Raw this week. They're not doing that as a WrestleMania match.
Sure, they can when you put a Lucha Daisy Fuentes stipulation on it.
But yes, but they're gonna run that at a Triple Mania later this year because El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano is making El Grande Dinero in Mexico right now, whereas it's like the 5th most important storyline on Raw in America. So like,
And I still
I
think I think they're more like El Grande make a lot of money winning title, not mask versus mask.
I don't know. I just think if they're gonna go in that direction, that's gonna end up being something that you get at one of the later Triple Manias for this year. Because they do Triple Mania like what, like 8 times during the year anyway. So I think that one becomes like a fall Triple Mania main event. But either
Jesus,
way, like I
6
don't.
months, 6 months from now,
Oh, I think they can build that kind of business in Mexico with that crowd. I think they could build up to
then
that
don't
and
put
get
them on
mask
Raw
versus
at all.
mask. I agree with that. I don't disagree with you on that. But that ship has sailed. They've already wrestled on Raw literally this past week. So I'm just saying though, like that makes me feel like it's less likely that they end up one-on-one against each other at WrestleMania. But I do think they still end up involved with each other at WrestleMania, which is why I say multi-man match. IC title. Dom's in there too. Finn's in there too. And fuck it. Put Gunther in there. Let him walk out with the IC title. Why
I
not?
I would much rather staple my foot to the ground than watch Gunther go down to being the Intercontinental Champion again. Pass.
But I mean,
Finn Balor
plenty
versus
of guys.
Finn
John
Balor
Cena
versus.
did it last year.
Well, John Cena also did it to finish the Grand Slam.
Yeah, but he
Gu-
still did it. He still went from being world champion to IC champion. Like this, Gunther could still win the IC title again and just be like, "Hey, this was
So
my
you
belt. I'm taking it
so you want
back."
so you want the guy who's held the title for the longest reign in WWE history to take back the title because there's nothing for him to do because Rey Mysterio got hurt.
I mean, the guy who had like the best world title reign in AEW can't even challenge for the belt anymore. So hell yeah, why not? Let's put the IC title back on Gunther.
I would much rather him just not even have a match. I'd rather him come out and be involved in a segment. Maybe we can hit him with a "You are cursed."
So you'd rather have Gunther at WrestleMania, and the only thing he does is a segment with Danhausen versus being involved in a match and winning a title, even
Yes,
if it's not the world
yes,
title.
yes.
That's crazy to me, to be honest.
Why? Because you've now destroyed Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor, which could be a match in itself because Dom's the AAA champion. He doesn't need the IC title anymore. You've now decided to disregard Penta winning the title in under 2.5 months because Gunther has nothing to do because Rey Mysterio got hurt. I mean, at this point, I would much rather it be Penta, Ray Phoenix, and Javon Evans versus uh, Gunther, El Grande Americano, and somebody else in a 6-man tag match than have Gunther involved in the IC title match. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather him issue an open challenge that gets answered by a returning Kevin Owens, by a guy who's already beaten him in Sami Zayn. Any of those options I prefer over him being involved in a title match. Because
And it unfortunately it kind of seems like I think Seth Rollins is heading in this direction. Have Gunther do an open challenge and have the returning Chris Jericho.
fine, he can kick the shit out of Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Like fucking yeah, like I see comment here, Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner maybe. I'm like I'd rather have a caricature of Gunther get cursed by Danhausen than have Gunther win the fucking Andre Battle Royal.
All I'll say is, if you're gonna put, like, you're telling me you have to put Gunther in a match, don't put him in a title match. Because no matter what he walks out of with a title belt, it doesn't matter. Cool, he's a great in-ring competitor. Cool. His gimmick the last 6 months to a year has been ending people's careers. He purposely hasn't fought for titles because he's been ending people's careers.
Right.
Stay with that. Maybe that's what the line was supposed to be. Maybe it was supposed to be Ray. If it was supposed to be Ray, like, sucks that this is like 3 out of the last 4 years that Rey Mysterio has been hurt going into WrestleMania. It sucks.
Right. Maybe stop stop having Rey Mysterio wrestle within the 6 months leading up to WrestleMania, or B, don't have him penciled into a feud until the Monday before.
Is there anyone that Gunther could retire real fast at WrestleMania? Like what's R-Truth doing?
Oh,
Wow.
he's gonna hopefully he's gonna win the tag titles tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's gonna be part of the.
Wait, follow me here. If Gunther retires R-Truth at Mania, can he just say he retired John Cena twice?
Ron Cena.
Ron Cena.
There we go. Or like
took
what's Kofi doing? Kofi's got to be like 60 now. Like maybe it's time to retire him.
He just got cursed by Danhausen because
Or into retirement. Look at that.
they well, I think he actually cursed Grayson Waller, but 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, I don't know that there's, is there somebody that, like, we're missing whose contract might be coming to an end that may not be re-signing, that he could end their WWE career?
Hardcore Holly.
No, because he's got an idea. Put the title on him and he'll kick everybody's ass.
I'd love to see them like bring somebody kind of like quote unquote out of retirement.
Oh my God, Nikki Bella.
She's probably going to be involved in the women's tag title match that night.
But like literally just like call out like somebody that's still like semi-active, but like hasn't been in WWE for a while. Like have him do an open challenge and fucking Chris Masters shows up. And fucking
in.
he beats Chris Masters. Fucking I understand that he just did the retirement gimmick in TNA, so he's probably not gonna come back and do a wrestle spot. But fucking do an open challenge and let me hear goddamn Fandango's music one more time.
Doo-doo.
And just have him lose to Big Goon. You know what I mean? Like fucking just somebody that is basically inactive. Oh, okay. That's interesting to awaken the Gargano. But yeah, it's something like do that. Bring somebody back and have Gunther like retire them.
Yeah, I mean, even like the Gargano thing makes a lot of sense if Johnny's staying.
Right.
If Johnny's not staying, let him go out there and just beat the shit out of Gargano in 7.5 minutes and let Johnny go to AEW.
What about the Motor City Machine Guns? Aren't they like collectively 145 years old? Maybe he can retire them.
Yeah.
If he's not, and this is a name that just popped in my head because they're not doing anything with him. If he issues an open challenge, or if there's someone who he's trying to take out or pick on that has someone stand up for him, what if it's Royce Keys?
I
Night
mean,
one,
that could be interesting.
night one, big meaty men slap and meet, Gunther versus Royce Keys. Night two, big meaty men slap and meet, Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. We could just call it the Big E Invitational.
Do you think,
Please
was
say
there
his government
ever,
name correctly, Bronk Lesnar.
Oh, I'm sorry, BoJack Horseman.
was there ever a world
Bronk Lesnar. Bronk Lesnar.
was there ever a world where Gunther versus Dragon Lee could have been a WrestleMania match?
I don't think.
3 years ago, whenever they signed Dragon Lee, maybe.
You don't think they could have built that off of the storyline with AJ and
I don't think
no?
anyone takes. I don't think anyone takes. And this is no offense to him. I don't think anyone takes Dragon Lee to that level to where he could realistically beat Gunther.
Fair.
I think at this point you have to have some sort of like, oh, Gunther could lose this match. Like he could lose to Royce Keys. He could lose to a, returning Chris Jericho. Should he lose to a returning Chris Jericho? No. Could he? Absolutely. I don't know that anyone thinks he's losing to Dragon Lee.
Right.
So wait, okay. Your problem before with the whole IC title match idea was this the title, right? It wasn't the multi-man part of it.
Well, I mean, it was the people that you had involved.
So okay, well, so let's take a step back then. Because if you've got the Americanos fighting each other, then they're off doing that. If you've got Dom and Finn fighting each other, then they're off doing that.
Yep.
Who's challenging Penta for the IC title anyway? I mean, couldn't we have a world if Ray was supposed to be the original opponent for Gunther, and they already kind of started building that storyline a little bit? Could you have a world where Ray is in Penta's corner and it's Penta versus Gunther, just one-on-one at WrestleMania? Be a banger of a match. I think there's no question about that. Could steal the show. Would probably be for the IC title.
I also think my issue was you said he was going to walk out with the title.
I mean, and that's why he could lose. Like either way, that's fine. But would you have a problem if it was just straight up Penta versus Gunther IC title?
Speaking of Dragon Lee, Penta defeated Dragon Lee this week on Raw to retain the title.
Oh yeah, that was a good match.
Personally,
I
no.
actually did watch Raw.
I guess I wouldn't care per se. Would I love it? Probably not. Do I think the match would be good? Yes, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. if that's the match.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just in a world where I just don't know that I want him involved in a title match, because it feels like the run that he's on right now. I don't know that there are many guys on the roster right now that are healthy that he should be losing to.
Right.
Penta may be one of them where I could be okay with it, but like, I really feel like it's a Cody Rhodes, a Brock Lesnar, a Seth Rollins,
If he had ended up fighting Mysterio, do you think he was going to lose to Mysterio?
Brock Lesnar.
No, I think he would have absolutely murdered Rey Mysterio.
You think that we would have seen Mysterio's last match?
I don't know that we would have went that far, but I could have seen a world where it was Rey Mysterio's last WrestleMania match.
Okay.
And Rey's last match might be a match in Mexico against AAA Mega Champion Dominic Mysterio. You know, maybe something like that. I could have seen that. Like, I could see Gunther being like, okay, you won't put your career on the line, but how about your WrestleMania career? I'll take that instead. You know, but I mean, at this point, here's my issue. We are under 30 days away from WrestleMania. Whatever Gunther's going to do, if it don't start Monday night on Raw, I'm almost more content with him being the person that Danhausen hits with the curse at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's time to shit or get off the pot.
What
Very
if you
nice.
went in that direction? I know, then we'll move on. But like you know how last year we were supposed to get Orton versus Owens, and then Owens got hurt, and we ended up with Orton versus Joe Henry? What if we got something like that? What if we got Gunther versus Danhausen in Danhausen's debut match? Or just something that's like, it's going to be 30 seconds and Gunther's probably going to end up winning just some real quick way, but like it gets him on the show.
I do believe that Danhausen's debut match will happen at WrestleMania, but I do believe it's going to be him and The Miz versus R-Truth and Damian Priest for the tag titles.
Oh, God.
Very nice, very awesome Hausen. So that should be a lot of fun. That being said, if Gunther fights anyone and the match is a brief, just him absolutely annihilating somebody, like, I'm okay with it. My issue is I don't know that there are many guys on the roster right now that should be beating Gunther. And I don't want him anywhere near a title. So, I mean, if it is Danhausen, if it is the career of Ron Cena, if it is, something along those lines, then like, cool, let's let it play out and see what happens. Is it the in-ring career of El Grande Americano? And then, it unmasks and it's Chad Gable, and Chad Gable's back.
Right.
I'm not opposed to almost anything, but I don't want whatever it is to feel forced, and that's the reason why Gunther's on the show.
Okay, it's time. It's time for my bright idea. Pardon my
boy.
cough. He wrestles none other than Omos in a mask, and he's Grand Vente Americano.
Perfect.
All right, wrestlers of the week. That's my cue that Mark Hottenstein is getting tired.
Yep. We're venturing into territories.
Yeah, exactly. We're
Oh, can
like,
I nominate? Can I nominate first?
You got it. Let her rip.
I guess I'll nominate MJF for cosplaying as Terry Funk.
the fact that we're only gonna have like 7 people nominated this month is gonna be wild.
Mhm.
MJF.
Should make for a really interesting top 15.
We're only gonna have 15 retained.
Make it easy. I mean, it should make it easier for him to rank.
Don't worry, Joe still won't turn one in.
Well, naturally.
I make
You
no
wanna-
promises.
Do we just want to keep the ball rolling since Joe actually has one and just let him take the next two and just
Yeah.
go, Joe, go?
Second, you know what? Let me have my boy Penta for retaining the IC title on Raw.
Okay. One more.
Ooh, I didn't realize I was gonna get 3.
Well, we were off the last 2 weeks, and we're gonna need more than 6 guys nominated for a top
Yeah.
15 list. So
This is all valid. Let me take. Let's see. Ooh, you know what? Since I took Penta for retaining the IC title, I should take AJ Lee for the same reason.
Great
All
match
right.
with Bailey, by the way.
Yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed that.
Much better than her versus Becky.
oh well, it's because Becky Lynch as well. Becky Lynch.
Hey, I love me some Becky Lynch this year.
Oh, her character work has been some of the best of her career. And then the bell rings.
Yeah, her in-ring work's gone downhill.
It has not been good this year. And I'm normally a very pro Becky in the ring. It has not been normal Becky Lynch, and I don't know if it's other stuff involved or whatever, but it has not been what we're used to. Joe, since I know this normally is the point where you heart out, do you have anything you want to say?
No, check out my movie podcast, the Joe Movie Podcast. We're
All
up to
one word.
date. Yep, there's new episodes out. We talked about a lot of stuff. Scream 7 is one of them.
How was that?
Not great, Bob.
Mm,
Not great.
mm.
But go listen to the latest episode of the Joe Movie Podcast. You'll hear all about it.
There you go.
All right, I'll see you guys.
Bye, Joe.
Bye.
All right, Jim, I'll give you the floor.
FTR, still your tag champs.
Retained AW tag titles. I will take Jayon Moxley.
It's probably fair. Give me Dorula for fucking power bombing Bronk Lesnar to the goddamn fucking center of the earth. But also, he's not going to be my another wrestler of the week. But can we give like
Piece of crap, ponytail bitch, Bronk Lesnar.
Can we give a little bit of? By the way, have you seen the videos of that dude, that fucking construction worker that just like cuts fucking promos on people? Him calling
Bronk Lesnar.
fucking Brock Lesnar
Bronk
Lesnar is one of the
Bronk
greatest.
Lesnar.
But let fucking Brock like telling Oba, step on my chest. Like, he's done this before where he will say things to guys in the. He did it in the Drew McIntyre feud the other year. Like, pick up the title. Like, he is actively doing things to make sure guys look better. Not saying he's a great person, but he knows how to fucking work.
Yeah, he's probably made some bad life choices.
Sure.
But when the bell rings and the camera's on, pretty good.
My brother's locked in. My last one, the Divine Dominion, Megan Bain and Lena Cross. Very respectful as your new women's AEW tag champion.
All right, so I will take for my second. I'll take Ren Sinclair.
Okay,
she's the new Sped champion because she's fast as fuck, boy. And for my final selection, so that Joe feels right at home, I'll take the person that he doesn't understand exactly what she is, Tekla.
Yeah, I don't get it either, but it works.
So, if you're scared of Tekla, does that give you like arachnophobia?
I think so.
All right, that tracks.
Yeah, I think that
That's
sounds
all I
about
got.
All right. You can follow me at Big Jim Sports, Twitter, Blue Sky. Hit the link tree there. Discussions with Nobody dropped a new one this week. Just go over and check that out. Huddle Up Podcast. I dropped a new observations pod this week. Let's go over, check that out. 3CT. We had a fun one. We talked a lot of AEW this week, which is a little bit rare for us over on that side.
I love that you talked about a lot of AEW without Tim.
Oh yeah. Well, we didn't want him to gaslight us into thinking it was better than it was. Also a Tuesday podcast coming up. We're continuing the Nintendo bracket, and you may hear a familiar voice from this show over there. Spoiler alert. Yeah, fun one on Tuesday. Go check that out as well.
You can follow the show at Take the Number 3 Wrestling. You can follow me at They Call Me Burn over on the Twitter sphere. Yeah, we're less than a month away from WrestleMania. I have not broken the news. Oh no, Joe was in the group chat when I broke the news about the bracket. Next week, be on the lookout. The start of March Madness Take 3 edition. That's right. We will be bracketing the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. Join us next week when our run of the Field of 64 starts. What will be the greatest WrestleMania match of all time? We'll tell you then, right here on the Take 3 Wrestling Podcast.